what is next? So we know that this impeachment went through. The House voted to impeach. There will be a Senate trial. McConnell's not bringing people back until the 19th. This coincides right with President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration. Oh, it's unprecedented territory. Where do we go from here as we enter in a brand new Senate, a new president, and an impeachment?
Well, if I knew all the details to your answer, maybe I wouldn't be a professor. I would be, vacationing in the Caribbean right now. No, we all know. All we know is what we know from the event so far, and what the law says, or the Constitution says. Now, so we have to sort of make a judgment as to what will happen next. President-elect, President-to-be Biden will come in and will have to deal with a crisis. Unlike other presidents in the past that have come in and they sort of, they start implementing their agenda. And one thing that Biden has to do and avoid, I think, in my opinion, what Obama did as a mistake, is to try to do too much at the same time in the beginning, before dealing with the COVID situation and the economy. And the mistake, in my judgment, that Obama made was to try to push healthcare reform while the crisis was going on. So Biden has to have take the certain steps in a correct way, so to speak. Now, on the other hand, you have branches of government. Our government is not unitary. The executive also relies on Congress, the legislative part. Now, McConnell is not going to be the majority leader, and that matters a lot. However, McConnell, in my judgment again, is an obstructionist. Obama wasn't even in office yet, and he came out and said, I want Obama to be a one-term president. Now, I think this is the same pattern now. We see that he wanted the impeachment, but not willing to do anything about it. And the more this impeachment, this trial now by the Senate takes place, and the longer it lasts, it's better for his interest in his calculation. So the Democrats, and especially Schumer, the majority leader to be, they have to be very skillful in dealing with this. But since the impeachment took place, the Senate has to take over and conduct the trial. There is an ace here, that Pelosi holds, that she can delay sending the article of impeachment to the Senate, so they don't have to do it right away. But I hear that the Democrats don't want this to, just hang out there, and especially Biden. Biden is very eager, and I know all of them are Democrats, but they have slightly different interests, because they get elected from different constituents and voters. So Biden wants to come in, and I think he's sincere, to deal with the COVID, the distribution of vaccines, and also deal with the economy. And I think that would be his priority. And now we don't know whether the Senate can do the impeachment at the same time with confirming the cabinet, which is also very, very important. So it's new territory. We will see. I don't know.
What do you make of this decision by now Majority Leader Mitch McConnell to not bring the Senate back immediately, start this trial and expedite it, but instead wait until there's a new Senate, one that will be Democrat controlled? We've heard that it's almost like him pushing this to the Democrats and saying, in January, you will take this over. This will be your trial. What do you make of that decision?
Well, I have two takes on this. I think one is McConnell is looking after himself and his party, and the more problems he create, or monkey wrench in the process and machinery, the better it is. So and also the second thing is, I think, is that he's trying to figure out where the Republican Party is. I don't think he knows right now. I mean, we had the number 3 leader in the House, Liz Cheney, who voted for impeachment and said a lot of things about negative about Trump. So now McConnell wants to figure out how to handle the situation. It's apparent now that he wanted Trump's role and power diminished. he achieved that. Now he's trying to figure out how the Senate, the Republican Senate will coalesce around this idea that Trump may not be a power player in the future, and that's also what makes it attractive to many Republicans, that to convict this president and also pass the law that says he cannot run for public office again, which removes him from contention and also fundraising and also preventing other Republicans from running in 2024 if he's not able to run again.
You take me to my next question. I mean, let's look ahead to the end of January, maybe mid-February. The Senate, let's hypothetically say they get the 17 Republicans on board, they convict.
Well, may I interrupt? They don't need necessarily 67 votes or 17 Republicans. If some Republicans, let's say 20 Republicans, decide not to show up, then it's 2/3 of the voting senators. So it could be convenient for some Republicans not to take a position, but just not show up. So I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think it's important to think about this because it is a possibility.
No, it's a fair point, and of course it changes the numbers game, right?
Yes,
it is critical. But going back to the question, regardless of the number, and I appreciate the clarity because I think our viewers will appreciate hearing that. Let's look ahead. The president hypothetically is convicted. Let's say it happens that way. You now move to a majority-controlled Democrat Senate, and now you need a simple majority to do that expulsion vote. You kind of touched upon it, but what would that kind of vote look like? Have we seen it before, and why are so many Democrats pushing for it? In your understanding?
No, we haven't seen this before, and because no president has been, convicted. So no, we haven't seen this before. How this will happen, I think it's the only thing I think could happen is if some Republicans stay home and they count the beans and sort of they have a conviction first, because without a conviction you cannot bar Trump from running for office again. This is federal office, by the way. I don't know. I think that Republicans, are also trying to figure out, as I said earlier, where the party is going. With Trump or with diminished, Trump base. And I think, and that's my guess, that Trump's brand and ability to, control so many Republicans will fade out as he's going into troubles and other and the fallout from the invasion of the U.S. Capitol. I mean, this is not going away. This can be another year of finding new information and then more investigations and a greater fallout as time goes on. But I have to say, though, Biden, like all executives who come to office, they have a political capital. And political capital, it must be spent. If you don't spend it, it evaporates. Obama, again, made another mistake. It allowed Congress or delegated Congress to come up with immigration reform and, even healthcare. And a year and a half later, his political capital had evaporated. Not that he wasn't popular, but, once you come in with a landslide, and this is what we expect in politics. Actually, we expect presidents who are strong to presidents who are weak, and maybe right, but presidents who are strong, even if we don't agree with them, we respect them more. So that Biden has come in, and he knows this. He has to come in and say, okay, this is what I want to do, but I have to do it in order, and let's get it done. And I think, he has popular capital approval right now, and he could push things through.
The last thing for me, obviously, this is unprecedented. We're entering something we've never seen before, particularly with the timing, particularly with the second impeachment. Is there anything else in your experience when you look forward to the next couple of months that you think that our viewers should know about, that you think is critical for them to understand as we move forward?
Well, one thing that's clear, that our government is divided. Our government is by design gridlocked and inefficient. So a lot of forces will have to come in to get things done. What I would be looking for is, how the COVID situation and the economy unfolds in the next couple months, because I think this is very important for Biden and the new administration to build upon. If somehow we have the same problems as we have right now with distribution of vaccines, I mean, in New York, I heard the other day that some of the vaccines had to be thrown out because they had expired or whatever. And still we haven't have a good distribution network yet. So this is fundamentally important. Now, also they're going to pass the 2,000 checks stimulus package and other similar COVID relief related economic packages is very, very important. So once you get this done, and maybe by the summer, the economy and COVID are doing much better in terms of outcomes, then I think you can see new dynamics. And also, the both political parties, the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, will have to play on that stage, the stage of the current affairs, the economy and COVID. And I think mostly it's we should be watching the Republican Party, because I think it's in flux. And this, at least Liz Cheney actually, revealed that the schism, as to how the Republican Party will move forward. And I think, this is what I'll be looking for, to see how the two political parties will react. I mean, Biden has some problems with the party, the activist wing, the more liberal progressive wing that will probably push for immigration reform quickly, healthcare, the environment. But Biden, I think, will try to control the process because, as I said, one successful step leads to a next successful step, and then how you move.